Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest aliens and UFOs news video. Well, this was pretty interesting to see on my Yahoo feed today. Something that showed up that was pretty fascinating that I thought I would share with everyone here. Lots of tongue-in-cheek type humor associated with this news article, but who knows? Maybe it'll be the real deal coming up soon. But it has to do with this. Apparently, there's going to be a big event happening near Area 51 on September 20th. And it all has to do with a Facebook event that's tied to a group that's promising this. And I'll include the link for it below. But the event is called Storm Area 51. They can't stop all of us. That pretty much in essence tells you exactly what's going to happen. So if you go to this event page, and I'll include the link for it below, you'll see that someone created this event where a lot of people have signed up for. Almost 400,000, in fact, have shown up. That's why this thing is getting a lot of news elsewhere around the world today. And the way it goes is that this is an event where everyone is going to be there, and they're going to be pretty much like running through the actual Area 51 quote-unquote gate, and then that way in a large mass number everyone can't be stopped, and they'll be able to get the final answers to what's in Area 51. Now clearly a lot of that is no doubt sarcasm. It's going to be a lot of stuff that's bravado, that kind of stuff, like a lot of tongue-in-cheek like I mentioned earlier. But who knows? We'll see, because at least with regards to this, it is traveling around a lot of the news stations, and we'll see whenever it comes to September 20th, specifically in the morning period, because that's when it's chronicling it. We'll see if that occurs. And I'll be able to follow up with this on September 21st and then give everyone an update on it. I'm mentioning this too because I'll include the link for below as well. I visited the entrances to Area 51, the quote-unquote entrances, a couple of years back. I think it was almost 3 years or so ago. And you'll see in those links all the photos that I've taken of my trip there. It was on my bucket list. It was one of those places where I just had to visit because of its lore, because of its fascination, all the secrecy surrounding it. And so I was able to find a nice tour company there in Las Vegas that was able to go to those locations. And I'll include some of the pictures here, in fact, as a nice little cursor, again, nice little precursor over the trip itself. So if you go on tour to this trip, or you can go on your own, because actually you can rent a car and then go up to these places yourself. But if you go, the closest you'll be able to get is pretty much here. And that's where they have the entrance. And I use the entrance in the loosest quotations possible, because all it is, as you can see, is just pretty much an open field with some posts on the side. And then that way, it's telling people not to go beyond that line. Now, the tour guide was, of course, very adamant of this. They'll take us to the actual entrance. They'll take us to the line itself, but you're not supposed to cross over it. They're not held responsible for anything that happens if you do cross over it, because, of course, by the time you get there, you'll have this. And this is another good photo. You'll have the camo guys, or the camo dudes, as they're called, waiting for you way on the other side on top of a hill, already ready in a car or a truck or a Jeep or whatever it is, ready to take anybody on that happens to cross that line. And they'll be waiting there. The way the tour guide stated was pretty much the unknown, hidden, secret, but everyone knows about it type thing. Rule is there's a very, very long road that takes you up to that entrance. It's done purposefully. This long road is something like 10 miles plus long. Very, very long road, very deserted, no buildings, nothing at all. You could see someone coming from miles away, literally. You know that expression, the way it goes, that you could literally see someone coming from miles away because of the wind, because of the dust, this dirt road, the way it works, the way it picks up things, because it's so deserted. Everything is visible from miles and miles away, not including, no doubt, the top secret military, subcontracted, whatever type equipment that's buried in the ground, which the tour guide was stating is supposed to be, or rumored at least, to be some kind of seismic collectors, stuff that'll register when there's a car passing by, stuff that picks up voices, that picks up heat signatures, stuff like that, that'll catch you coming from miles away. Nobody's going to catch, they're not going to be surprised, in other words. Nobody's going to suddenly be caught with their pants down as you're trying to go up to the entrance. So at least the most visible part are those camo dudes, but otherwise you'll definitely have everyone's eyes on you whenever you visit. And when I went there, I loved it. I love being able to go there, see the camo dudes in person, to be able to walk up right to the line. I collected a little stone right from the edge of the line too, as a nice little memento, because that's the closest that I got. It was literally like half an inch away from the entrance, so that's the closest piece of whatever type of rock there that's from Area 51, and then that was it. By the way, if you cross the line, if I remember correctly, you still have about another 10 plus miles to get to Area 51. Someone correct me on that too when it comes to the mileage, but even if, and let's say a big if, this group decides to do what they do and decide to cross over, they're going to be winded by the time they get there, because they're going to be either running for a long time or driving for quite some time. And either way, when they get there, there'll be lots of anticipation well ahead of time, not including all the other stuff I was mentioning earlier in terms of all the other equipment that's handling all that stuff. But yes, with regards to anybody trying to catch people by surprise, it ain't gonna happen. So as far as this event, I'm gonna put them on my calendar. I'm gonna see what happens afterward. I don't think anything, of course, is gonna happen. It seems like it's all sarcasm. If you go to the website, by the way, and I've mentioned it in the link below, it's kind of NSFW, not safe for work. So be careful if you're trying to watch it anywhere work related, but you'll see some of the biting humor that this website has, at least with regards to his Facebook page, and it seems like they're acknowledging all the new interest that seems to be popping up because of the viralness of the link of the event that they have going on. But it is catchy. Whenever you have a title like that, Storm Area 51, they can't stop all of us, then it definitely gives a heads up as to what's going to happen in terms of something very fascinating, something very interesting. But what do you guys think about this event? Is this going to happen? Is it not? Is it something that y'all are planning on going to, maybe as a spectator, or y'all going to participate? Either way, though, obviously it's not recommended to do so. All those warning signs in the front specifically state you will be prosecuted, you will be charged, you will be shot in some cases. I think it said on one of those that shooting is authorized for stuff like that. Not that it's ever gone to that extreme, but the tour guide has told us that they're having people arrested and charged with multiple felonies. In one case, there was someone, foreigner, he stated, that decided to do it, to actually cross over just to try to take like a selfie from the other side. And of course, the camo dudes came up right away, arrested him, and they did something to his passport so that way he could never ever be able to come back into the US. And that was very serious afterwards. So if you do something like this, be very careful. Don't do it. This is not something that I recommend because of the serious implications involved. There is a famous video too. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll include another link for it below, but it showcases a car driven by older women who accidentally ran through that entrance. And when they did so, the way the story goes was they were caught, but they were let go because their story seemed plausible. It was the idea that they didn't know that the interest involved the actual place that they just ran through, that you're not supposed to cross over that line. And so the video shows their car just blazing through because of it. And then you saw the camo dudes like go in a hurry down the hill to try to catch up to this car. So obviously this is very, very serious stuff, but still I'll include the links, and that way maybe we can all see what happens afterward on September 21st. But otherwise, let me know what you guys think, what your opinions are as to this event. Quite fascinating. No, and when you have a chance, check out the links too from my own videos. They've gotten a good number of views, and you get to hear about the trip that I took there, which I highly recommend if you're going to Las Vegas anytime soon. I think it's called Adventure Photo Ops or Adventure Photo Tours. They have the Area 51, the only one that I know of there, in fact, that they have there, and they'll be able to take you, they'll pick you up from the hotel, take you there. It's an all-day trip too. I mean, we're talking like 14, 15-hour type tour, because Area 51, all the places surrounding it is not nearby Las Vegas. It takes like 4 or 5 hours just to get to that area. And so going back and forth, you're talking about 10 hours plus driving, and then, of course, the actual visits and the stays. So that's going to be something where you have to plan for the entire day, but it is well worth it. If you want to do something on your bucket list and it involves aliens and UFOs, you have to go see Area 51. Make it on your bucket list. I highly recommend it. You won't regret it because you'll be able to get a lot of memories, take a lot of pictures like I did, and then that way you'll be able to share this really, really cool stuff afterward with everyone. So, all right, everyone. Thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.